Cheers, welcome. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. This is general, collective, and we never know what random shift we're going to get. But take what works for you and just leave the rest. And we will begin with the underlying energy from this reading. We have from the tarot, we have Judgment is here. So Judgment is coming in from the Most High, from the spiritual realm. The trumpet is blaring, and the ancestors are so excited. They're literally climbing out of their boxes. This is God's judgment coming through, and perhaps it could even go back a ways to something that happened with your ancestors, and the descendants are waving from them across the veil, and everybody's cheering and excited because perhaps this is going to be a judgment that frees up the entire bloodline. And so this is a moment of great happiness for your ancestors. If you've been going through a difficult time, the judgment is being called for you, but not just for you, for your entire bloodline. And then we have attachment. And attachment is a karmic space that human beings can easily fall into, because when we become attached to a person, place, or thing, we have a tendency to, like, if we want to really hang on to it, to be able to fall into every other karmic space there is, and take actions that cause problems for everyone. And the saying on this card of attachment is, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. So that doesn't feel very fair. So there might be some judgment coming in about that. Let's see what's going on here. Look at this. We have, starting off, the Three of Pentacles. Definitely this card kind of sums this up. This is saying that you are in an elevated position. Whatever skill set you have mastered it. And this is really good. You're in an elevated position. People are admiring your work. There's a spotlight on it, and people are wanting to collaborate with you. They can see, there's a lot of energy around you at this time. Now, this quite often represents people or industries where there's a unique talent, or like a very high level of talent. So it can definitely represents the industry of the entertainment world, which would be, anyone who maybe you're a musician, a very talented musician, singer. This could be, people wanting to produce your music and put you on tour. You could be in a band. This energy could also talk about directors and producers wanting to have you try out for the lead role in their next blockbuster in Hollywood. This could represent, you might be a very talented athlete, and this could be people offering scholarships to go to college or university, and even maybe you're already there and now they're offering, wanting you to try out for the pro teams. And this could be an artist, a sculptor. This in particular is a stonemason. So you're in a really, really, really good position. Congratulations. This is, a real beautiful moment for you. At the same time, this card comes with a warning. This is the Three of Pentacles, and the Pentacle energy is about health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. So there's a lot of money to be made from your talent. And you have to be very careful, because the industries that I mentioned have a tendency to have a lot of secret society energy underneath. And a lot of people end up signing contracts or making agreements without understanding what they're really signing. And this can cause, the pentacle energy is about money for sure, because you do have to have money to be able to thrive in the 3D. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and not be living the lifestyle you want to live. And we're seeing that all over the news for the last 6 months for sure. This is talking about, a lot of judgment being called on a lot of the people that were in the background of these industries. And so this basically is saying, be very careful right now, be very happy for yourself and proud. You've reached this wonderful moment. At the same time, you need to get a very, very good lawyer. Someone, it's worth your time, money, and energy to do so, to find someone that understands these contracts and specializes in them, to make sure there's no loopholes or clauses, or the fine print says something that you don't get. And because many a person, as we're seeing these days right now, how many of the people that we've been admiring for their wonderful lifestyle and their attractiveness and being at the top of their game, and they are miserable because they are not living a lifestyle that they want to be living. And this is due to contracts that they've signed, the industry in itself. So you want to make sure, and quite often what happens is people end up making a lot of money off of people that are very talented, and the person that is talented is breadcrumbed in the process. And then we have a soulmate coming in energy. So this is talking about being in a position where someone's coming into your life that's really going to support you on your destined journey, on where you really want to be and where you want to go. These two people are both complete within themselves. Like, they're not going to complete each other. This is not that they need each other. This is just a spiritual contract saying, hey, let's hook up and hang out together on earth for a while here. We really enjoy each other's company, and let's empower each other to move forward on our paths. And this is usually a huge reward coming towards you for having done so, and maybe been on your own, and maybe you're getting a little bit tired, because it looks like you're dealing with a lot of energy here that has been, that wants what you have, but doesn't want to share it with you, which is kind of challenging. And we do have, this energy is talking about each of these people being strong within themselves and very connected to source energy, in strong communication with that. This is talking about the higher self network, as I refer to it, HSN. And it's very much like being logged on to the internet, but you don't have to log on. You're on there 24/7, whether you're aware of it or not. You always have a strong connection to source energy if you want to, look into that and nurture it. And then we have this energy of the Hermit. So you may have been in isolation for some time. Perhaps you did have a real opportunity here, but you turned it down because you did not want to be engaged in the lifestyle that you would have to be able to take this offer. And quite often when that happens, if you turn someone down that runs a certain occupation, force, however you would put it, then, and you say no to them, then that can pretty much end your career, because they have a lot of power. Having said that, you still are not trapped in a lifestyle that you wouldn't be enjoying what you were doing anyway, because you would be caught in their web. And so this energy is talking about being in isolation, climbing the mountain basically, so that you can isolate and just be alone, connect with God, and just put yourself back together after your foundation has been shaken. This energy is talking about the lantern fills with the light of the North Star, and the North Star is the guiding star. It's about your intuition, why you're here, your purpose. And when the lantern fills with that light and you know what action you want to take, your rod turns bright and you come down from the mountain and you take action again to get back into the loop. But if you say, sometimes this is a no-win situation, because if you say yes, you're not living the lifestyle you want, and because they're in control of it. And when you say no, you're not living the lifestyle you want, you have some control because you're not in a position where you signed a contract with them, but they have taken your ability to be in that industry with any progress being made in many cases. And then we have the truth is coming out about this situation. We see that in the news every day right now. There's all sorts of truths. Just turn on the news for like 5 minutes and you're like, oh my goodness, what else is going to come out? The truth the Ace of Swords is a gift. It's saying that the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth is going to come in. So help you, God. And this is for staying on your destined path, having the courage to stand up for yourself and say no. I would rather give up my dream, or not give it up, but not use it at this time. Because I'm not going to live someone else's lifestyle that they have insisted I live. And then we have, that would be like juggling two lifestyles, like totally, it's an energy of not being within yourself. Like you have to, your public image is very different from who you are inside when you're living that type of lifestyle. And so you're not really on your dream anyway. You're just doing what other people want you to do, and you have more money and fame, but you're not in your element. And so this is talking about, you could be really busy at it too. That's the thing. And it can take a lot of energy to be in juggling this type of lifestyle. And so this is talking about, the pentacle energy here. The Two of Pentacles represents being really busy. You might even be in the background just working on your craft, just doing what you do, and being in just not being public about it. And then this energy here is talking about this gaining momentum, though. And so you start off on a small wave and then you move into the larger wave. So whether you know it or not, your destined path is not something someone can take away from you. This is something that God gave you that is yours. And so they can slow it down, but they can't take it unless you give your control over and give up your choice to other people. And so this is talking about juggling that energy. And this is basically saying juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. This can be really, really busy energy and a real conflict between two lifestyles, or your like domestic side and your public side. And then we have, this also can talk about really being caught up in mind loop, and quite often this can go back to energy that situations that happened in your childhood and that you haven't resolved. And this card has been coming up a lot, and I feel like it has a lot to do with just the energy on the way the earth is now, just recognizing that that this is someone who is going through a lot of hard energy, like rough. You can see there's a lot of waves here being created because of, I feel, of saying no to someone. And the energy here is like being in rough water is representing volatile, mixed emotions about the whole thing. And wanting to move on to calmer shores. And then we have an adult and a child here, and they are sitting in this boat, and there's no baggage. And this is representing the healing of the inner child, so that you have the courage and the strength to move forward and continue on your journey, even though maybe there's some issues from your childhood that you really have to face some fears about that to be able to continue on your journey. And we have here like the long pole of this conveyor represents your meditation and prayer that you are into with the Most High, and he has to dig really deep with this pole to push out of the mud and move into the calmer waters. And then we have Page of Cups energy. So this can be talking about information, communication coming in regarding your love life. I feel like in this situation here, this Page of Cups energy quite often is representing an energy of, a love offer coming in. This quite often can be about romantic love. It could be love of any kind, but quite often this is saying romantic, and someone has their eye on you, and they know there's plenty of fish in the sea, but they want to, they're very focused on you. But I feel like just with the energy here, this is more saying that this is an energy that this sometimes can represent an energy. What happens to a fish when you leave it out of water too long? It starts to smell. So there could have been something stinky in your love life, something smelly going on, and something fishy. And generally the pages in tarot represent a time frame of before you're 21. So in elementary, someone you know from elementary school, high school, college, university, starting out in the workforce, maybe apprenticing for someone. So this could be talking about that time frame that this information is coming in from then, and that's when what you need to heal from to be able to move into having a real supportive relationship with someone, rather than someone who's just wanting what you have, basically. And this energy could, go back to that time frame, or it could be that you, about someone from that time frame, or they bring in information. It also can represent maybe someone that you, from your past, that you haven't seen for a really long time, like 7 years ago, 14 years ago, 21 years ago, usually in spiritual cycles of 7. And let's see, and then we have the devil here. So the devil has been showing up quite a bit in the readings lately as well, because there's a lot of eclipse energy as I'm doing these readings, and it's a back and forth kind of energy. A lot of temptation out there, a lot of people unsettled, a lot of people having the rug pulled out from underneath them around the world right now. There's so much change happening, and systems are breaking down, and it feels like there's a lot going on that is out of our control, and it can feel very almost like we're caught up in a web of deceit almost. And this energy, with the devil, is talking about temptation, and these two lovers, they are yoked to each other, and they're yoked to chained to Saturn's box, and the devil is sitting in between them, and he's crouched in this position because he's in control here. And they are, this is representing an energy of lust over love. And maybe in the past you had someone that was really was wanting your lifestyle, like literally wanting what was yours. And we're not just talking, this is being very attached to it and working, and maybe what you took as being love, that was just lust on their part, and not even necessarily lust for you, but lust for your what you have, or what your destiny is. That's the type of energy. So this is on a spiritual level, first and foremost, and then also on the physical. Like, what are the entrapments of this, whatever, of your destiny, and them wanting it. And so when this card comes up, I always cover it with the next card, because you are not going to get the truth from the devil energy. This is temptation. It's very manipulative. And, what I do is I cover it with the next card up. I want to see what minion does the devil send in to do his dirty work, because he does not do his own dirty work. And also, does God step in and stop it? Or, what happens? Can we get some more information so we're aware? And we have a King of Swords here. So this King of Swords energy is talking about someone who's in an authority figure. Now, this could be someone who was tempted by something. They saw something moving forth. Quite often, this can represent people that have a lot of authority, a lot of power for law and order, for making laws, like people in very high places. I mean, we're talking about a king here. And the sword energy is talking about, your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind, your thoughts. And how are your thoughts expressed? They're expressed through words. Now, that could be written, or it could be verbal. And so quite often this represents an energy of someone who's very educated. This isn't someone who works like physical labor, this is more of an energy of using the mind and the words to earn their living. And the King of Swords is very good with words. They understand that words can uplift, and they can also be used to as weapons. And the energy generally is people that have authority. And so quite often this can be political figures. It can represent the systems, basically. So it's talking about people that would maybe be presidents, prime ministers, even a king. We have a king here already. This could be talking about senators, congressmen. In Canada, that would be more like ministers, provincial and federal. This could be governors, you know, that sort of energy in the United States and around the world. Everybody has their own political systems. So this is talking about the people that have a lot of clout and that they're high up, politicians that have clout. And that also make the laws and bring them in and then make sure that they're enforced. This sometimes can talk about, you know, the police, the chief of police type energy, someone who's at the top. This can talk about the judicial system for sure. So definitely this could be a lawyer energy. And perhaps maybe you had hired a lawyer and they didn't, you know, something happened there that it wasn't done properly or whatever, the contract wasn't looked over properly, something could have happened. This energy is talking about, you know, if this is a lawyer, it would be most likely a lawyer who's a partner in a prestigious firm. And it could be, you know, judges, Supreme Court judges, this could represent head prosecutors, that kind of people who have authority at the top of whatever field this is. We can also be talking about surgeons, veterinarians, dentists, psychiatrists. This could represent engineers that have patents, you know, on different projects. It could represent researchers finding the cure for a disease, intellectual, educated people. And so this is talking about also knowing that, you know, the King of Swords does understand that when you give your word and you don't follow it up with the proper action, that your word has become useless. And then we have, look, there we have, yeah, you need to follow up with action. And I feel that this could be talking about the actions now that you're taking, or you know, the energy that was coming towards you, and this is the truth is coming out about that energy, about whatever happened back here. So definitely I feel like you're a significant other, like this is quite often a spouse, someone that a spouse or someone that you had a serious relationship with for some time, and this can be the actions that they took, and you may have mistaken them for someone. They presented themselves as someone that really cared, but it was more the lust, and it not even for you. I hate to say it that bluntly, but more for the lust of what you what God has promised you. And quite often in spiritual warfare, that can look like with the devil involved, saying, "Hey, you know, you can have what's theirs. I can get that for you." Now the devil always, you know, tempts you with shiny shift. You're not gonna. The ugly part comes out later when he wants the payment, and I'm getting that's what's happening in this energy is payment. It's time for payment, and whatever has gone on. I just feel like the energy didn't work out the way anyone thought it would on any level. And we have the Queen of Wands energy here. So the Queen of Wands is someone, she's sitting at the top here, and I feel like this is saying that you're getting back into your nature, your natural ability to be happy, following the sun. Just like the sunflower heads, they turn with the sun, and that you're back on your path. And yeah, you might have been isolated for about 10 years, but you weren't a part of this mess, whatever this was. And now it's probably been at least 8 years here anyway. And it's talking about now you basically get the word from God, okay, it's time to take action. You might have been thinking, well, I guess I'm done. I'm just like going to be isolating for the rest of my life, I guess. And you know, you might be very, very disappointed at this point. So just understand that the truth is coming in. And it sometimes, I feel that this energy, like the Queen of Wands is naturally a happy person. This is someone who's, you know, naturally sexy. Just the thin veil behind her represents the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. And this, I feel, goes much deeper than with the devil here. And this energy, just the way it's come out, and God's judgment on top of this here, saying that, you know, this is much more than one individual or any individuals. This is God's plan, and it has a greater meaning behind it. And you're one of the people that was used by God to get this done. And when I say used, I don't mean used like in the way that people use each other, but part of God's plan. And so this energy is, the element of fire. This is talking about the wands. This is about taking action and something being launched. So this judgment is coming through, and the judgment is talking about whatever's going on here is already happening in the spiritual realm, and you're going to start seeing this action taking place on the earth. And I do feel that's what we're seeing the beginning of. We're starting to really see that things that we thought would never come to light, or that people at the top that thought that they were above the law would never be brought to justice. And we're seeing that that's not the case, and then we're also seeing that many of the people that maybe we thought like, oh wow, they have it so great, they live such a wonderful lifestyle, really didn't and don't. And so this is talking about, I feel like it's almost like matters that human beings can't even intellectually grasp all the way, because it's such a huge complex, like a big spider web, like a huge one that we're all kind of caught up in, and like the dark web kind of energy for some. And so this is talking though about this new passion coming in. This has already been launched from the spiritual realm, and that soon you'll be like at the top here, in your like back on track and where you were. It's almost like whatever is happening right now is going to launch you back into the energy that you were before all of this happened. And not exactly, of course, in the same, because hopefully you've learned something from all of this, but it's talking about being back in your natural happy state. The Queen of Wands is a very happy person who loves, to go look into new projects, new energy, and really someone who seeks the truth. A lot of the fire signs are that way, very independent and loving to go on adventures. It's that type of energy, having that adventurous spirit back again. We have like this energy here, and I feel that this totally stifled your ability to move forward in many ways, but it actually was a blessing in disguise. There was something fishy and stinky going on in your love life, and maybe that is coming to light now. And it could be, there could be legalities, because we have a lawyer here. There could be a lot going on behind the scenes in the courts and that you're maybe not aware of. And then we have, in the meantime though, while you've been in isolation, you've been healing yourself, and you've been doing more work than you realize, because you're basically doing this, and you might be clearing energy that goes way back for your ancestors as well as yourself, and clearing some sort of energy out of the family bloodline, so that the descendants are all freed from this. And so this has been launched already from the spiritual realm. And you can expect to start seeing it come in. And this is talking about not having to juggle your lifestyle anymore, or be in that energy of fear. I feel like there could have been some sort of definitely some very difficult energy. And the truth is coming out about what has gone on. And so the truth sets you free, although it can be sometimes very challenging to hear. So let's see, this is kind of like a very deep reading. I didn't know if I was really in the mood for it. I should have fed my cat before I started. I didn't think it was going to go this long. Okay, it's okay. I'll feed you in a minute. She's like, I'm hungry. All right, we have the numbers on these cards are from my oracle, Tales from the Vector. And shh, be a good girl. I know you're hungry. Okay, so this is talking about the numbers on these cards are how the paintings in my gallery are listed in on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And if I didn't mention it, this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And so I've been working on this for a while, and I'm just gathering the information now. So I don't have a physical deck as of yet, but you can go check it out if you want to see the other paintings. So this is dissension, This is with friends like this, who needs enemies? So you've been swimming with sharks here. This is a tactic. It's like people that you consider to be your friends, peers, whatever, you know, like family that care about you, and finding out, oh, they didn't care about me as much as I thought. And then really dissension is when the people are talking to divide and conquer, you know, dividing groups, and then the next thing you know, there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of slander, and behind the scenes, they're doing everything in their power to make sure that you don't succeed in this industry. And then we have the superstar, and this is having harmony again. So this is coming in, and there could be a soulmate energy, or there could have been someone in the past pretending to be so. But I do feel that this, you know, it can be both. I do feel that this reading is saying that you're back up on the top there. If you want love in your life, you'll have it. And now you have the discernment that you didn't have before to know whether or not it's real or if it's fishy. And then we have the guiding star, and that is talking about the north star light in the lantern. Like, you understand what your path is. You have way more understanding than you did before. Like, this could have been going on for 8 to 10 years, that kind of energy. We have, like, it's almost like you were destined in 26 to come back out again, you know, 2026 here. And so we have denial. Maybe you were so far ahead of your time that, you know, you needed, the world needed to catch up to you. And then we have denial. What I don't know won't hurt me. Well, you probably have found out what you don't know can hurt you. But at the same time, these people that were involved in this, whatever this is going on here with the devil, were unaware that you were protected. You weren't an easy target, because you were protected by the divine, and you still are. And this is you weren't doing what you necessarily even wanted to do. You probably didn't want to do it, but you were just being obedient to God's plan, basically. And then this is the Aquarius energy. I was wondering if this card would come out, because it whenever the truth card comes out, generally this card shows up somewhere in a reading, but this is a small reading, and I thought it might not. Here it is. The Aquarius energy is talking about, you know, observing what's going on and then experimenting on how to do things better. That's for sure. But this is also talking about the planet Uranus, and Uranus rules Aquarius energy. And so Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini about, I think it was about 2 months ago now. And it's very significant, because we haven't had Uranus in Gemini since 1941 to 1949. And that's when World War II was happening, and the aftermath of it. And we're still just getting down to the truth with a lot of what was going on there. And that might be why the ancestors are cheering here. There could be something that someone is attached to that happened way back then, and it was not even between you and these the people that you know. It could even be people you don't know, but that your parents did, and something that, or your grandparents even, depending on your age. So the important thing to understand is Uranus in Gemini wants the truth to come out. And so it is. And it's coming out like weird truths in weird ways. And that's because Gemini is so quick-witted, and Gemini is very adaptable. 1 minute they can be this way, and the next minute they can be another, because they change their minds quite often, because they have new thoughts coming in constantly. And so this is talking about Uranus. Bottom line, Uranus is a pain in the butt for anyone who doesn't want the truth to come out. But the truth is coming out, and you would not have been living the light. Like, you might be sad because you feel like you didn't get to shine in what you do, and like, what was the whole point of doing all the work and everything if you're in isolation. But the energy is talking about you wouldn't have been able to shine and do what you were going to do anyway, because they would have been controlling it. And you're actually better off now, because now you're really ready and you're to be yourself, to be in your authentic. Yeah, this is coming to a transition, this energy here. Definitely. And really, you don't need a soulmate to get this done, and you know that. But this is more of an energy. If you do want it, I feel that you could have love coming in. There's been a lot of love and passion coming in the readings. So this could be, yeah, like maybe that is what you want, and maybe you're someone is like, no, I just really actually am quite happy on my own here. So it just depends on who you are. But whoever was attached to your destiny, who thought that they could swap your destiny for theirs, was inaccurate. They could slow it down, but they couldn't, stop it. And this is like spiritual. This is people that are dabbling like in a lot of spiritual warfare and breaking a lot of universal laws. And we have the Wheel of Fortune here, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. It's saying, yes, the past, the present, and the future are coming together in God's plan, and you are on your way. That it definitely is turning. It's already been launched on the spiritual realm. And the God's energy is representing the happiness. So whatever happened here, and I feel there was a lot that happened here, this energy, it's almost like it's not quite over yet, but it's happening in the spiritual realm. And the Wheel of Fortune is definitely turning in your favor. And whoever is involved in this energy, the truth is going to come out, and it's going to be very public. Very public. It's like that's the way it is right now. That's part of the justice. And then we have the Leo energy. This is very interesting because the Leo energy came up in, I think, one of my other, I think it was my daily reading, and it was at the top here as well. So this is talking about being, like the sun rules over Leo, and the Leo energy is talking about being a leader. And so even though maybe you've been isolated for a long time, you've still been a leader in whatever this is, because you didn't give in to the pressure to not be your authentic self on your authentic path, just because you wanted to be out there, if you understand what I'm saying. So this energy of the Leo energy is talking about having the confidence now to lead, and actually having the ability to do so, like having matured into it. And I just want to point out, when the signs come out and they're from the zodiac, I'm not talking about specific people. I'm talking about the signs themselves. If you ever get your birth chart done, we all have like every sign in us somewhere, and we can really learn a lot from this energy. I'm going to take one more card for the very top. We have the Taurus energy as well. So like there's three. I was just getting this energy here is talking about the give and take in life and learning that. And like the Taurus is the second sign out of the zodiac, and it's talking about in matters of love and in matters of what you love to do and what you love to be, you have to learn the give and take of that energy before you can be safe in being at the top of the pedestal, if that makes sense to you. So this is talking about you learning. The Wheel of Fortune is turning for you now. Quite often, this Leo, the fire signs, Leo is a fire sign. And when the fire signs, they take a little bit more time to mature. And what happens is, it's kind of, think of teenage boys and how they can be rebellious and whatever, but they're like, you can see that they have the ability to be a good leader someday. They just haven't matured into it. And that's kind of the energy here. Like when people lack confidence, they tend to come off as being arrogant. And that's because they're trying to fill in the empty space. And so this is talking about you've learned that give and take, and you can handle the pressure of being at the top. And this is also talking, Taurus energy is the Empress energy, basically. It's talking about being in that energy of being in control of that part of yourself. The give and take of the physical world, and being able to stay in your authentic path, on your authentic path doing so. This is a good reading. It's a little bit deep and a little bit, heavy in some ways, but I enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. It has a lot of really, really good information in it. I will be back with another reading about random shift for you again soon. Bye for now.